doom da 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 dee ba da ba doom ba da ba.
Wait a second. Did I say time and time again, you don't bring on monster radio,
Cold
audio, YouTube app. You don't bring on superstars afternoon drive in Los Angeles, California on ESPN radio. You don't put us on the air without proper introductions. Come on, man.
I mean, I know he took the days off, but we couldn't have run anything canned.
Like, we have an open. And
Now, you know what?
Call him. Oh, see, now you found a reason to call him.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, hold on.
Oh, yeah. Get him. Get him. Yep, get him. Get him, George.
Go ahead. Keep talking.
Yeah. Hey, because that's just it. Like, we have an open. So usually Chris will say, hey, Cappy's going to talk about this, and George is going to talk about that, and Lindsay this, and everybody's here. And are we ready, sucker? And then all of a sudden, bing, ba-da-bum, ba-ding, ding, da-ga-doom, ba-dum-bum, right? And you, really?
Can you pot up the phone real quick? I want the sound of the phone.
Come on with nothing?
Yeah, just pot it up.
Come on, man. There you go.
Do I have to press 9 to dial out?
What is this, a hotel?
You gotta press 1, though, I'm pretty sure.
All right, we're making a call. We are calling Christopher, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right, he's looking at his phone.
Wondering why someone from here is calling.
Right, what do they need?
No, he knows it's us. It's 422, and it's definitely, he knows it's us.
Okay.
He's probably taking a nap.
Nah.
George, maybe you should call him on FaceTime.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
He would definitely pick that up if it's from your phone.
Please leave your message for 3.
No, I don't want that to go over the air.
Why not?
Yeah.
I'll give anybody my phone number. I don't care.
No. That's fine. We did try.
Why don't you FaceTime him?
Try FaceTiming him.
Try FaceTime, seeing if he's in the.
Why don't you
jacuzzi.
FaceTime? I called him.
All right.
He
So
won't
you
pick up
FaceTime.
for Cappy as quickly as he would for George.
How do you know?
That's my guess.
Well, maybe now he realizes, he's like, oh my God, there must be an emergency. What the hell? Cappy's FaceTiming me. What the hell?
Yeah.
All right, let me see what happens.
Yeah. FaceTime.
Am I FaceTime audioing versus
No.
FaceTime
No,
videoing?
videoing.
Yeah.
Video. And then you just put the phone on the microphone.
Why am I having such a hard time?
I don't know. Because you're technologically inept.
Okay, here it goes.
There we go.
All right, here it goes.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn up the volume.
Yeah. Put it closer to the mic. There we go.
All right, come on.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. First of all, you're on the air. Okay. By the way, you're
Put it closer to the microphone.
You're shirtless and you're hot.
It's a very warm day.
Yeah.
I'm also I'm up in the clouds a little bit.
What do you mean by that?
It's been a good afternoon.
What do you
Okay.
think he means?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, he's drinking.
A little Modelo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Modelo especial.
Yeah.
What
So
is it you want?
we called because there was no open, and to Cappy's point, two major market stars like us. This isn't Tulsa. We should have an open.
Yeah, but listen, days that I'm off, especially the run I've been on, no open, no generic. Did you want a generic open?
Yeah, there should be a canned one.
A generic open.
No, not
Listen,
generic, canned.
Greg Bergman and Marcus Grant didn't have an open.
Well,
Right, but-
we're not. They're not us.
Right, and
so
they're not
no
like
disrespect to anyone, but
They're
Not like us.
They're not major market afternoon drive ESPN superstars.
they not like us.
Right.
They not like us.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're not going to have one tomorrow.
Why not?
You'll have one Thursday.
I mean, I guess. I'm about to send an email that's really going to piss you off.
Why?
I would say primarily just because it's today your first day off. That's kind of knowing George, that's probably why. Let me take a look at you without your shirt on.
Should I hold off the email for 2 days? Is that what you want me to do?
What I didn't hear him.
Should I hold the email off for 2 days?
Is it about anything? Is it about Greg? What's it about?
No, it's not about Greg. It's about me.
Oh, what? Oh, is it about the throat? Is the throat feeling better?
It's about just some stuff that we need to iron out around here. Everybody
Contract. What else do you and I have?
collaboratively is what I would say. Yes.
Well, just send the email. Is it just to me or is it to everybody?
No, everyone will be included. Not the whole station, but just like our show unit, you and Greg. Yeah.
I will reply all.
Yeah, we know.
I mean, go ahead and send it up.
Well, I got to do the show first. It'll happen in between segments at some point.
I mean, it's It's 4:25 in the Southland. What else have you guys talked about in the first segment?
Not really. We started at 420. Shout out to 420 because we went long with Marcus, Andy, and Greg. Yeah, because Cappy was showing off all the T-shirts that Radio Michael created.
That's exactly right. By the way, I'm looking at Chris right now.
Yeah, you should what you should do is put it on the end of the microphone.
Well, I'm going to do this right here. I'm going to show everybody on YouTube. Take a look at Chris right here. Look at him shirtless. Modelo Especial.
I mean, he should be shirtless.
No, he looks good. That's true, but I'm just saying, looking at you from chest up, you look pretty good.
I believe you said that to me a year ago when I was shirtless in your house.
Yeah, I was like, you don't look so bad.
It's the scabarich when you give after the chest, you know?
The scabarich?
Yeah.
Really? That's the problem?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, well, this isn't Tulsa. We would prefer an open moving forward. Thank you very much.
Anything else you'd like to say?
You have an open Thursday, I think.
No, but when you're not here, there should at least be something in the can.
Well, wait a minute. Actually, I think ask DeAndre. There is a complete generic in this.
Wait, but it wasn't loaded, so let's not blame DeAndre and pass the buck here.
Let's blame DeAndre. He should know better.
I said he could look in there for tomorrow. There's a generic.
Come on, DeAndre, do better,
All right, Big
man.
D, find the generic. But no one told you that, so I'm still blaming management here. Hold on. There's a stench of corporate.
When I was a board op, here's the thing. When I was a board op,
Oh, here we go.
and somebody loaded something generic that I could use over and over again, I would make a note of it to myself.
They used carts though back then, right?
No. This was at Fox Sports Radio. We were digital.
Oh.
I made notes of it to myself so I could move ahead in the world.
Hear that, Big D? You trying to get ahead in this world or not?
I am trying to get ahead.
He's trying to get ahead, but now that you explained it to him, that'd be nice. All right, we'll let you get back to whatever you're doing.
All right, go drink a beer. Go have a cigar. Go sit in your hot tub. And
Below? You want to go below?
yeah, let me take a look at what you got going on back down below. I've turned the camera around, so it's just me. It's just me. I've seen it before. You've seen one, you've seen them all, man. You know?
All right. All right. Well, he's drinking one beer, Cappy. You tell us about your friends at Coors as you let him go.
I would love to. You know, the thing is that what Chris should be doing right now is he should be drinking an icy cold Coors Light. Because when you look at that silver bullet can, you know that it's cold Coors Light time when you've got the mountains all blue on the can. So whether you're celebrating a vacation because you just hosted the Mandy's and you gave it all you got and now you need a few days to recharge, or listen, I don't know about the rest of you guys, it's hot AF out there. You know, it is hot, Jack. So listen, tonight or this evening or this afternoon, you're on your way home, stop at your local convenience store, stop at a grocery store, stop at a liquor store, and pick up a 6-pack, a 12-pack of icy cold Coors Light. And if, you don't want to stop because you don't even want to get out of your car, do this. Visit the website, CAChooseChill.com, because you can get Coors Light delivered to your front door today. Knock, knock, knock. Who is it? Coors Light. Visit that website, CAChooseChill.com, 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. And when drinking that icy cold Coors Light on a smoking hot day, celebrate responsibly.
Purple Rain, Cappy. This day, Purple Rain became a thing. 1984, the album was released.
See, we don't need Christopher. We got George. This became a thing on this day.
DeAndre, did you ever watch the movie?
Did not.
Yeah, it's slow. Don't waste your time.
I feel
Just
like
listen to the album. It's much better.
But I feel like I should, watch the movie just, understand like what's going on as far as like, how Prince is. Does it explain his upbringing and all that in the movie or?
Well, exactly. I mean, I guess in some ways maybe.
Okay.
I also haven't seen the movie in a really long time myself.
Okay. No, I just gotta listen to the album then.
So wait a second. So on this day, Purple Rain became a thing?
Exactly.
The album dropped, yeah.
Okay. Because somebody check me on this. What's today's date?
Today?
26th?
Yeah.
Today's the
25th.
25th. Just check me on this. Is today the day that 15 years ago Michael Jackson died?
It is. It's on the list.
Okay. 15 years ago today, Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of that joke that Chris Rock once had. He goes, people used to say there was a battle between Michael Jackson and Prince. Well, Prince won. Yeah, because at that point, Michael was going through like all of his court battles and everything. And Chris Rock was like, this brother shows up in court looking like Captain Crunch. I should probably just grab Chris Rock saying it, rather than trying to do it on my own. But yeah, somebody hit me up today. They were like, yo, man, 15 years ago today, Michael Jackson died.
Yeah.
Someone hit you up just to tell you that?
Well, I have a good
Kinda
buddy.
morbid.
Well, I have a friend of mine. I'll tell you
by the
very
way.
quickly.
Oh, here we go. It's a story.
I have a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Paul the Ultimate Vaden.
Okay.
Kid Ultimate, as many will call him. Okay? Paul Vaden.
Right.
Anybody here know? Anybody ever
Not
hear him?
familiar with
okay?
him.
Google
Go
him.
ahead.
Google him real quick,
Yeah.
Funchy. Google Paul the Ultimate Vaden. And my friend Paul Vaden he is still obsessed Michael Jackson fan. Like when he sends me a text, he'll always end it with like Shaman. Shamon. Shaman.
Right.
And so the reason he was such a big Michael Jackson fan is in his career, which I'm waiting for Funchy to pull up who this guy is. You find him, Funch?
Is he a boxer?
He was a pro boxer. He was a champion. He was after like Hagler, Hearns, Duran, like
Light middleweight?
right.
Middleweight?
He was that like next generation, and he was like back then, George, you're getting ready to go to Paris and the Olympics will be going on.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, does anybody remember the Pan Am Games?
Yeah, of course.
Which was kind of like Olympics light kind of a deal.
Correct.
Right? So he was a Pan Am champion. He was a world champion. And he actually had, when he would go into the ring, he would go in with like two characters sitting on either shoulder.
Okay.
One was Michael Jackson, and then the other one was Muhammad Ali. So like his two idols as a kid, Muhammad Ali and Michael Jackson, that's how he built his boxing career.
Mm-hmm.
He was part Michael Jackson, part Muhammad Ali.
Right.
And so he was a world champion boxer, and he's the biggest Michael Jackson fan on the planet. And he sent me a message today, 15 years ago.
Wow.
The king died.
There
So
you
he
go.
told me. King of pop,
Yeah.
you know.
Also, you know what died today?
Tell me. The music?
No. My plan for the Lakers to get better for next year.
Oh, no. What happened?
Well, there's a report by Sam Amick from The Athletic saying that LeBron and AD are pushing for the Lakers to use their assets to bring in a quote-unquote star-level player, which is the opposite of what I've told you that they should do, that they should take the Boston approach and use their assets to bring in several players if possible.
Yeah. Now, just back up for a second here,
Yeah.
because during the season, there was a time where, as I recall, you were pushing for, hey, look, you've got these assets, you've
Use 'em.
got these
Right.
draft choices and so on.
Right.
Use them to go get a third superstar.
Right, but a third superstar, like there was a time where I thought they could get Kyrie Irving, right? Which made sense because he was going to be cheap. Like anybody you're trying to get in the offseason, that's like when you're buying at the most expensive time. It's like, you know how like some people are really smart. They go Christmas shopping in like September, You know what I mean?
Smart. That's like, I mean, you got to be a real planner to do that.
Well, but people do it because the prices are usually, like, people think the prices are cheaper during Christmas. Usually not the case.
Okay.
They tell you it's cheaper, but they've already raised the price.
So, like, if somebody calls me in September and they go, hey, what are you up to? I'm like, oh, I'm out Christmas shopping. And they go, Christmas shopping in September? And I go, yeah, but I'm smarter than you.
Correct.
Okay, I've never done that before.
Yeah.
I may consider that.
You'll
So-
forget.
So
Yeah,
you will
probably
definitely
chance-
forget.
no chance I'll do this,
You'll definitely
right,
forget. But anyway, it's that. You are buying at the time it is most expensive to buy, which is the off season. And in the off season, because teams can say, nah, we're good. We'll just wait till the trade deadline. Like, they've got till February. Like, what's the point of making a rush? I mean, we saw it last year with Damian Lillard, where it felt like forever. Miami and Portland were tugging, at each other there. And then eventually Milwaukee just swooped in with a good offer, and they got him. So I just think that the Lakers, if you're going to get into a battle for a quote-unquote star-level player, yes, you have assets, more than you've had in a long time, but you don't have the assets the Knicks have. You don't have the assets the Nets have. You don't have the assets that a lot of teams have. Like, you don't have Oklahoma City, right? Like, there's so many more teams with way more picks. New Orleans, which have plenty of yours, as a matter of fact. Like, you can't necessarily compete if you're going to get into one of those bidding wars, which is why I switched positions weeks ago or months ago now during when the season was over that, hey, I like the Boston rebuild better. Granted, the Lakers don't have the assets that Boston had, but they still have three. You can get at least two good players, I think.
I would say this. First and foremost, go back to the report that Sam Amick had, which was LeBron and AD are pushing
Correct.
for an additional star.
Correct.
Let's start with that. If I'm Rob Pelinka, I say just like this to these guys. Fellas, hey, look, you guys go work out. Go train, okay? Go work on your shot. AD, pump it up in the gym. Put on a couple of extra LBs. You guys focus on being the best you can be and let me handle the roster. And here's why. Because I sat there and watched the J.J. Redick press conference yesterday, and in fact, in an effort to create what I would call film study, I actually went back and watched the press conference a second time. And you know something that J.J. Redick said during that press conference yesterday that I thought was very interesting? Based on the roster the Lakers had in the postseason this year, this is J.J. Redick, I don't think this roster is that far off. That's what J.J. Redick said. So you hired a coach to hopefully shepherd LeBron James towards another championship before he ultimately retires, whether that's 2 years, 3 years, whatever it may be. But, and listen, I sat there and watched the press conference. And when they asked JJ about his relationship with LeBron or talking to LeBron, of course, everybody's like, oh, I never talked to LeBron about it ever. Yeah, we all believe that. Sure, of course. And then Rob Pelinka says, well, actually, AD was more involved in the coaching conversations than LeBron was. Well, yeah, because LeBron had already interviewed J.J. Redick on his podcast and had already put it on Rob Pelinka's desk. So, of course, Anthony Davis wants to have a little piece of that. All I'm trying to say to you is this, George. LeBron James says he's not the general manager, then stop generally managing. Anthony Davis, get bigger, get stronger, get healthy, be ready. And you know what? Let the front office add the pieces that need to be added. Not necessarily a pure third star. Because here's the one thing I think I've learned a lot, especially the way the NBA is right now. 3-on-5 doesn't work. 3-on-6 or 3-on-7 definitely doesn't work. You look at a team like Boston, or you look at a team like, you mentioned Denver, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, whatever, Dallas. Those teams are 6-7 deep.
Yeah.
So 3-on-7 doesn't work.
I just don't, because here's the thing, and I know what people say, well, if you add a third star to this mix, of course they'll be great. Yeah, but if you add a third star, you're going to have to trade some of your depth pieces now to make the math work. And I understand that could include D'Angelo Russell, but it's not going to include D'Angelo Russell to the tune of over $30 million, which is what you need a lot of money to be able to get a third star. You need to be in at least the $40 million range.
Let me ask you this question. Just take yourself back to the beginning of last basketball season.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you think that the Lakers, who had just come off losing in the Western Conference Finals, did you think going into the season,
right,
that they had a roster that they'd put together at the end of the year. They added a couple of pieces. Gabe Vincent comes to mind, right?
Yeah, I in theory, I liked it. I also did not anticipate the leaps that certain teams would make. Minnesota, Oklahoma City.
Fair.
Like, I said to you going into last season, those teams are coming. I just don't know if it's now. And those teams said, bleep you, Sedano, it's now.
Okay, but also, while those teams made leaps, the Lakers went slightly backwards.
Correct.
But what was the main reason why the Lakers went backwards last year?
Well, I think everyone not named LeBron and AD did not pick up their weight.
Okay, and how many of the new bodies that the Lakers got, whether it was at the trade deadline,
Vanderbilt
the previous
barely
season,
played. Vincent barely played.
Right, so, okay, here's my point. Last year, beginning of the season, they got Vincent. Vanderbilt had come previous to the trade. D'Angelo Russell was here at this point, re-signed. Rui was a guy that everybody liked in the postseason, not this past year, the year before. There was a lot of reasons to be somewhat optimistic about where the Lakers might be at the end of the season. It didn't work out that way for a variety of reasons. One,
well, save those reasons.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, save that for the other side.
Let me write this down so I don't forget.
Yeah, please do that.
All right.
Yeah. But first, speaking of writing down, write down this number if you get in an accident. 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Did you know that not all personal injury attorneys will treat you the same? Well, my guy Jacob will treat you like a king, okay? We're just talking about the king. He'll treat you like a king. One primary example is that if you're in an accident and hire an attorney, some major law firms may deem your accident too small and not worth their time. So they'll farm it out to a smaller, lesser experienced firm. Imagine that's you. You think you're hiring one person, but you have someone else handling your case. That's another reason that if you're injured in an accident, you call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB, 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you, because every case is equally important to Jacob, and he won't hand off your case to someone else. And let's face it, do you want someone dealing with the insurance company like that maybe it was out of law school a few months ago? No, you want Jacob. So again, you get into an accident, you call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you, all right? Don't take the risk. If you're injured in an accident, call Jacob. Get the medical care you need and the compensation you deserve. When you call an attorney, you want one who's respected. So call Jacob because he's the real deal. So call him at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB, 844-24-JACOB, or visit him online at calljacob. Oh, Tina.
But a second-hand emotion. What's love got to do with it?
Okay, I want to see what year What year do you think this was?
1987.
See, I would have guessed 87 too, but not even close.
86?
93.
93?
Yeah.
Huh.
I would have never guessed that. I would have totally thought 80s when I thought this song. What's love got to do with it? Now, did that have a resurgence because of... Wasn't there a movie that came out?
Guys, I want to say the song came out a long time ago before then, but
And
it
then
had a
the-
resurgence because of the
The
movie.
movie, right?
What movie?
Right.
The movie, the Tina Turner
Right.
movie.
Oh, gotcha.
You know, Lawrence Fishburne as Ike Turner.
But that movie was made more recently.
No, I think it was in the early 90s, no?
I don't know, man. To me, Lawrence Fishburne was in Boys in the Hood in the early 90s. That's all I can think of.
No, the song absolutely was released in 1993.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there's a movie too that went.
The movie was in the
Hadn't heard that.
2000s.
No. There's a movie.
Oh, the
called
movie?
What's Love Got to Do
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, no, Funchy is right then. It is based on the movie release that this song was re-released. But it was not released the original time this way. Right. The song was definitely from the 80s. So let's see when the song actually came out, because to me
The
that...
song was released in 1984.
84. There
See
you go.
that? 87.
Yeah.
Too late.
Yeah.
What's Funchy Lover got
Yeah.
to do with it?
Yeah. So I knew that 93, that sounded odd. So the movie, yeah, it was the movie. There you go. Re-released because of the movie 9 years later.
Funch, you okay?
I'm great.
You sure?
I'm great.
Are you sure?
Oh, I'm great.
Okay.
Why are you asking? Does he not seem like he's good?
I don't know.
I mean, I can just tell you guys this right now. That yesterday, Monday, I was in a complete Mandy's fog. Okay? And today I feel a whole lot better.
Right.
Although I will say this, George, I stayed
Yeah.
up late last night because two reasons. One, you gave me a little bit of grief yesterday about not watching House of the Dragon season 2 episode 2.
So you caught up?
So I did watch it last night. And then
Good
Hooper-
episode, right?
Very good. And then Hooper's ex in the Circle of Trust was like, "Come on, Cap. Like, you got to be current with these shows. You got to know, because George wants to talk about it. We want to hear about it, and you're the guy who's holding us back." So I was like, "Oh, Hooper's ex, you're giving me all this grief?" So at 10:30 last night, I started watching House of the Dragon season 2 episode 2. And by the way, it's not like watching a 30-minute show in a series. They're like an hour 20. You know, they're not short. They're really, really long. So I had to watch it last night. I'm caught up to speed. At some point today, I'm sure we'll get into it. There are some questions I have that I don't understand. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I don't understand exactly what happened between the two brothers when the one brother had to do what he had to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to say what he had to do.
They split up because they were in different. One was on the green side of the Targaryen family. The other one was on the black side of the Targaryen family.
Right. But when they had
The
their...
Greens and the Blacks. The Greens
Yeah.
are the king that's technically in power at the moment and King's Landing, and the Blacks are Rhaenyra and Daemon and them.
And are they all living in close proximity to one another?
No, they're in different lands.
Okay, it's hard to tell.
They're in different parts of the Seven Kingdoms.
Okay, got it. And
Yeah.
then I feel like what's the queen? What's the mom of the king? What's her name?
Oh,
What's her story?
her name escapes
She's the
me.
one that's sleeping with the with her knight.
With Cole, with Sir Cole.
And I feel like she's the one who's pulling the strings. What was the woman in Game of Thrones, the redhead, the good-looking redhead that blew up the church? Shame. Remember, she walked through the streets naked.
Oh, yeah, Cersei.
Cersei. Yeah,
I feel like the mom of the king now, she's like this version of Cersei. You know, like she's the one who's pulling all the strings, I think. I'm not sure yet.
Well, she's trying. Alicent is her name.
Alicent.
Yeah.
Alicent, she's a bad girl. Ooh, she's naughty. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, she is,
God, you're
dude.
dumb.
No, she is, because when they did what they did
Right.
in episode 1,
They caught her.
the queen came walking in, and she saw her doing what she was doing with her knight.
Right.
And then she tried to say something to her in episode 2, like, "Hey, remember what you saw?" And she blew it off,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. She tried to talk to her about it, right?
Right.
But it didn't, Helena was not interested in having that conversation.
She was not. She was
Yeah.
not.
And by the way, I wouldn't blame her.
Yeah, she's like, "Hey, listen, I don't want to get into your personal business."
Right,
but
that's up to you.
Yeah, but
But let's just focus on my personal business.
But it was hot. It was really hot. It really was.
All right, you know what was hot? You were
Tell
coming
me.
up with a list about LeBron and AD wanting a third star, according to Sam Amick, and you were about to give a list of something.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
You fired Darvin Ham because you said he's not a good enough coach to coach this team. By the way, this is the team that we, the Lakers front office, the Lakers organization, said, we made it to the Western Conference Finals.
We're running it back.
We added a couple of pieces.
Yeah.
We are going to run it back because we're looking for consistency now, not switch up the roster around LeBron and AD every year. So then at the end of the year, due to injuries and due to their coach who they decided was not good enough for them, they hired a new coach. And the new coach sat at the press conference yesterday, and you know what everybody said about J.J. Redick? He's really, really a smart basketball guy. And you know what J.J. Redick said yesterday, the smart basketball guy? The Lakers roster is really not that far off, in his opinion. So they theoretically have improved the coach, even though the previous coach was a assistant coach for 14 years and part of a championship team, and now they have a new coach that's only coached his son's middle school team twice. But they've improved
Elementary school.
Thank you. They've improved the coach. But when you really look back to last season, Gabe Vincent was a big acquisition. People were excited about Gabe Vincent.
He barely played.
Made virtually zero contribution.
Is that one? Because you were doing a 1, 2, 3 thing.
Jared Vanderbilt was a guy who
Was hurt all year.
A lot of us, though, thought was going to be a major contributor, especially on the defensive end,
Yeah.
right? Didn't really make that sort of a contribution.
Right, barely played. Couldn't get on the court.
Rui Hachimura did not have a great season.
That was probably some on the coach.
Okay, there's 3. They signed a guy like Taurean Prince. He was not really an impact player in any way.
But I don't understand why he was had to be an impact player. He was a $4 million player, $4.5 million player.
Just all I'm saying is that
No, I
he
feel you.
was an addition,
Yeah.
and he didn't really contribute. Cam Reddish was a guy that
He's a minimum guy.
Right. So what I'm getting at is this: is that if you're going to get rid of Cam Reddish and if you're going to get rid of Taurean Prince,
Right.
no
That's
problem.
fine.
But your core is LeBron, AD, Austin, D'Angelo, Rui, Gabe Vincent, Vanderbilt. There's 7 guys. Okay. Now, if those 7 guys were healthy, and then you added another big man with like some girth.
Right.
Okay.
Like a Jonas Valanciunas
That's exactly who I was thinking.
or like a Brook Lopez.
Yes, Brook Lopez.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't use some of these like skinny, tall guys. You know, it's fun to see Jackson Hayes drive the lane and slam the ball.
But I told you at the beginning of the year, Jackson Hayes and Christian Wood, who's also still on the team, like those guys are not impactful players towards winning.
That's why LeBron, AD, Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell,
Right.
Rui, and Vanderbilt, and who am I missing?
Vincent.
And Gabe Vincent. 7 guys. Those 7 guys, you bring those 7 guys back.
Right.
You find a shooter. You find a big man.
Right.
And then that's 9 guys, and then you fill in little pieces.
Right. But here's the thing: if you're gonna acquire this third star,
Which is what I don't think they should do.
some of those players have to go.
That's why you shouldn't do that.
Right? But that's why I said I'm with you, and this is why I've been saying now for several months. Hey, just take the Boston model, add to your guys, like add to the guys you have, create more depth, because the one thing you can't account for, but you also kind of still have to account for in today's day and age in sports in general, is injury.
100%.
You have to have depth. For example, I'll use a football example, okay?
Okay, that'll help me.
The New York Jets clearly had their season derailed last year because of Aaron Rodgers played 4 plays, okay? And they had, Wilson. What's his name? The first name?
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
Zachy.
Right.
Little Zachy.
Zachy Wilson. He's cute.
Little Zachy.
His mom's friend digs him.
Right. Little Zachy
Right.
was there, and he was not good enough. So this year, what have they done to be the backup of Aaron Rodgers? They've signed a competent backup in Tyrod Taylor. Okay. And they said, this guy's won games in this league as a starter, as a backup. He is a competent backup. Would you
Correct.
say yes?
I would agree.
100%.
Yep.
You need depth in the NBA. Okay, the Boston Celtics, even when Kristaps Porzingis went down, which people said, "Oh my God, he's the difference in them winning a championship," he went down. Al Horford filled in admirably, even at 38 years old,
Right.
Because he didn't have to play the heavy minutes during the season, so he had the opportunity to play heavier minutes in the postseason.
Well, think about the comparison you just made, though, about Aaron Rodgers. Think about LeBron James. LeBron's 39.
Right.
He'll be 40 in December.
Yeah.
Now, LeBron played a lot of games and a lot of minutes this past year, and he played great, to his credit.
He did.
But he's also going to go to the Olympics this summer, which means
a lot of mileage.
That right now he's putting in the training now for the Olympics.
Right.
He'll have to go through a training camp for the Olympics. Presumably, the American team will win gold at the Olympics.
You'd think.
And LeBron,
Although not a guarantee.
No, not a guarantee. But LeBron is going to have to put in, I'm going to call it 6 weeks.
Yeah, easily.
Of legit, real work, because he doesn't want to be embarrassed at the Olympics. And then after those 6 weeks, it's not going to be that long thereafter that you're going to have to be ready for training camp.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Olympics are basically over after the first week of August, and then you've got about 3, let's call it, about 6 to 7 weeks.
So Aaron Rodgers plays 4 plays and blows out his Achilles. We all saw how healthy LeBron was last year, and we all saw how great he played. Is that a guarantee? At his age? Coming off the Olympics?
Yeah.
I'm worried about that. So, maybe LeBron is thinking we need a third star because what if something happens to me? What if something happens to AD?
Yeah.
I disagree. I say more bodies, more quality bodies.
Right.
But listen, LeBron, you got to understand something, man. Stop being a general manager. Let the general manager generally manage and you play, man. Get out there and play the best you can play. Lead your team the best you can. Work with your coach the best you can. But don't force a third superstar.
All right. Well, how about this? Tell us about your friend. I want to continue this discussion because they have been allegedly seeking out a name we've heard in the past. But the problem is they don't want to give up what it takes to get that player.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that on the other side. But first, tell us about your friend Avner Gatton. We'll be back in about 3 minutes.
All right. Look, do you want me to tell you guys about Avner Gatton, what he does as a public agent, as a public adjuster? Do you want me to tell you about that? Because
Sure.
I've told you about this for months and months and months.
Hello.
That if you get into a situation where you have something that happens at your house, a toilet blows up and it floods your house, or a pipe bursts and it floods your house, and you got tons and tons of damage, and you call your insurance company and they don't want to pay you what it's going to take to fix it, you call Avner Gat, and Avner Gat comes in and he takes care of business. Okay, and the track record speaks for itself. 20 plus years in business, the 5-star reviews on Yelp, on the Better Business Bureau, on Google, all of the credentials speak for themselves. But let's talk about Avner Gat, the man. If you were at the Mandy's on Saturday night at Commerce Casino, you saw Avner Gat, in my opinion, this is one man's opinion, George, you saw Avner Gat steal the show. To the point where Avner Gat was doing the pony up on the stage with Morales. This is completely impromptu, not rehearsed, not scripted. It all just happened. And it was so good that Avner contacted me on Sunday morning. When I answered the phone, I saw it was Avner. I go, hello. He goes, hello to you. And then he says, you know what? I want to host the Mandy's next year. That's the sort of performance that Avner Gat had at the Mandy's. So not only is he great at what he does as a public insurance adjuster, making sure you get the best outcome, not the insurance company, he's also a real dude. He's also a guy who loves this radio station, and he's a guy that is loved within this radio station. And so when this happens to you, you call Avner Gat. He answers the phone himself. He says hello, as everybody knows, because everybody was screaming at the Mandy's. 818-917-5256. 818-917-5256, or visit him online, AVNER, Avner Gat, G-A-T, Avner Gat.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Cap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
What you need to know is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Take it away, Linz.
Thanks, Sedano. All right, so this one is brought to you also by Funchy, who pointed this one out to me, just for you, Cappy. In his first major solo performance since the slap heard round the world, Will Smith is going to perform a new original song at the BET Awards, which will air live on the network this Sunday, or June 30th at 8 p.m. So I think that's a Sunday, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes.
this Sunday. They have not released any other details about his performance other than the fact that he is working on a new album, and the appearance, like I said, will be his first since, he came up on stage and slapped Chris Rock.
I have a question,
Sure.
and I'll ask all my brothers and sisters out there, and perhaps you guys can give me some answers. Does this mean that BET is pro Will Smith and anti Chris Rock?
No, I just think that they're taking the fact that Will Smith is willing to do something on their air.
I don't think that you have to take sides in that one necessarily.
I feel like Will Smith is trying to get back into the good graces
Clearly.
of the community because he did something that was very, very, very uncool. I mean, this is the way I see it. I don't know, DeAndre. Tell me if you think I'm just being like a middle-aged white guy here who has no business talking about this. But here's my feeling. You have one black man walk on the stage and smack another black man on national television who are both ultra famous. It was just a very, very bad look. And I feel like Will Smith is trying to get himself back into the community. I don't know. How do you feel? Tell me.
I don't know if he's trying to get himself back into the community. I just feel like it was something that he's wanted to do, and BET wanted to have him on for the experience, and for this weekend. So
Yeah, if you're BET, you definitely take him.
So you're saying that I am just being a middle-aged white guy and don't know what I'm talking about?
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's kind of what you're saying.
I mean, people are going to watch just for the sake of watching, so I feel like that's a win for them, right?
I mean, what's happening?
But I get where you're coming from as far as like why you'll still be upset as far as
Well, I am
doing.
still upset.
I mean, it seems like you're still upset.
I am still upset. I think that I am more upset with Will Smith than Chris Rock is.
Probably.
Yeah, I can see that.
I really think Chris Rock is like driving around somewhere right now, listening to the radio going, get back to analyzing the Laker roster, dumbass. Okay? like, why are you still so angry at him? He slapped me, and the more you talk about it, the more it perpetuates it. Get back to telling me about how Jared Vanderbilt is going to be healthy this year, and J.J. Redick's going to be a great coach.
Right.
That's what Chris Rock is saying.
Correct. That is what you need to know, brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are.
Mm-hmm.
So, Cappy, the Lakers, according to Sam Amick as well in this article.
Okay, tell me.
Sam's been doing a lot of work for us today, and I appreciate that.
Tell us, Sam.
He apparently says in this same story in The Athletic that we were just discussing where that LeBron and AD are pushing to have a third star.
Okay.
He also said that Lakers have made overtures to the Atlanta Hawks for DeJounte Murray, someone who I said last year, hey, go get DeJounte Murray. But they are reluctant to give up Austin Reeves in said scenario.
I agree.
I don't agree.
I agree.
DeJounte Murray is a better player than Austin Reeves. Now, DeJounte Murray is a much more costly player than Austin Reeves. So based on the value, is DeJounte Murray that much better based on the value of what he makes, which is nearly $30 million to Austin Reeves making in the 12 to 15 range? Is he double the production or the value? No, probably not. But you're going to have to give up something to get something. And that's the way this thing works, especially when you don't want to give up all your pick assets.
So just want to clarify one thing before we keep going on this DeJounte Murray story. Is DeJounte Murray considered...
He's an all-star player.
Okay, but is he a star? In other words, when LeBron and AD say we need a third star, I don't think they necessarily mean we need somebody that's going to be in movies and necessarily that's going to have Sprite commercials.
No.
They mean that they need a third high-end all-star
An elite level
caliber.
player,
Okay.
yes,
All right.
yes. And he would qualify as that, yes.
Okay. Tell me this, because you got to understand where I'm coming from philosophically, everybody.
Right.
Okay. I'm a team builder. Okay. I'm not a stat looker. In other words, I can look at what DeJounte Murray is, and I can look at what Austin Reeves is. And I can say DeJounte Murray in the world of the NBA is a better player than Austin Reeves, and Austin Reeves is only a second-year player. By the way, just finished his second year.
Right.
Okay? I can look at DeJounte Murray's salary, and I can look at Austin Reeves' salary, and I can do exactly what you just did. Is he twice as good? Is he more than twice as good?
Right.
If DeJounte's a $30 million guy and Austin Reeves is a $12 million guy, is DeJounte Murray, do the math with me, $18 million, is he 66% better? Does that compute for any, did that math work? If you're making 12 and somebody else is making 30 and there's 18,
yeah,
is
it's
that
about
66%?
right. Yeah,
I
mean, it's
know
in
if
the
that's-
neighborhood.
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah.
All right. Is DeJounte Murray a 60% better player than Austin Reeves?
Probably not. But again, that's not how this works.
Okay.
Because if you don't want to give up the draft compensation, and by the way, everybody wants the Lakers draft compensation because they know when that 2029 pick comes around in 4 or 5 years, like it's going to be valuable. Because in theory, LeBron won't be here, and AD may not even be here at that point.
Probably won't be.
Right. So in that time, that pick is going to be one of the more coveted picks.
You're saying because you think that it will be...
Because the Lakers will probably be bad in 2029. Probably.
Okay, and so, okay, got it. So here's the thing.
So if you don't want to give up the draft capital, I get it, you're going to have to give up something of value. Nobody's just going to hand you DeJounte Murray. This is the days of you getting Pau Gasol for Marc Gasol, who nobody knew what he was going to be back then, and Kwame Brown, those days are over.
Okay, I would agree. But, again, in the spirit of team building versus just looking at data.
Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, DeJounte Murray next year makes $25 million.
So the question is he twice as good?
Yeah, double.
Right, okay. But you see, the thing is this. You got to know your people. You can look at the paper and you can look at the data.
Yeah.
And you can say, if I put this player who scores 29 points a game with this player who scores 28 points a game with this player who scores 27 points a game, that's 3 guys, and combined, those guys are scoring 80 points a night. So that's going to work just perfectly because look what I've built on paper. But you see, for me, I like to know the chemistry. And here's what I know, that when we look at what the Lakers have been, can we agree that over the last two years, Austin Reeves has been, because you know I love this, he's a heart and soul guy.
I know you love that.
I'm a heart and soul guy. Austin, don't roll your eyes at me. Are you kidding me right now?
Listen, I get that. But what I'm saying, look, I understand from the Lakers' perspective. I do. I understand from the Lakers' perspective why you would want to keep Austin Reeves. He's on a cost-controlled contract for the next 3 seasons at a bargain, frankly. Like, Rob Pelinka deserves credit, and the Lakers, well, there was only so much they could pay him based on his
But they deserve credit
status.
for scouting him and signing him.
No question.
And cultivating him.
100%. All that stuff. But at some point, you have to cash in that chip. Because unless you think he's going to continue to outperform, because he certainly was a value at what his previous contract was, not even a debate. You know what I mean? But at $13 million, which is nearly what he's going to make this year, $12.9 million, can he give you double the production? Can you, or even, another 25 or 30% of the production? Can he give you for $13 million what you would get from a $20 million player or an $18 million player?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question.
You're projecting and hoping he continues to outperform the contract.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Last year, Austin Reeves averaged 16 points per game, four rebounds, 5 assists.
Yeah.
Is that the best we're ever going to see out of Austin Reeves as a second-year player?
On a team that has championship aspirations, that's probably the cap of what you're going to see, I think.
Okay.
Now, I'm sure there are numbers that can be better, like some of his efficiency numbers could be better and things of that nature. But I think that if you're asking, what you're asking of him, in the role you're asking of him, I would say that is in the realm of what you should expect.
Okay, so DeAndre here, who thinks he knows ball, but of course I know ball, is rolling his eyes at me over my whole concept here.
Okay, well,
about Austin
let's get
Reeves.
to DeAndre on the other side.
Rolling his eyes at the brother.
And I want to know why he's rolling his eyes at you specifically. But first, I want to tell parents that I understand your plight. And what I mean by that is taking your kids to the dentist can be a chore because they don't want to go. And I get it. But I've got the place for you, a place they're going to want to go back to over and over and over again. And it's Children's Dental Fun Zone. Fun is in the name for a reason. You want what's best for your kids, and choosing a dentist can be tough. I get it. I just mentioned it. Someone your child can trust and enjoy going to the dentist with. Good luck, right? No, we got the place for you. Children's Dental Fun Zone. Let me tell you about my friends at Children's Dental Fun Zone. First of all, when you walk into the place, you literally feel like you're walking into a cartoon. Your kids are going to go, whoa, what is this place? They're going to love it the second they walk in the door. And at Children's Dental Fun Zone, they got 17 locations across the Southland. They got you covered in LA County, they got you covered in Orange County, and they got you covered in the IE. Children's Dental Fun Zone specializes in children's dentistry and orthodontics with state-of-the-art equipment and personal attention your kids deserve. And here's the fun part, okay? At Children's Dental Fun Zone, at every station that they're going to be at, there's a big screen TV with a movie playing. They got iPads for the kids too, toys in the waiting area. They're good to go. And for the parents, they accept Medi-Cal, PPO, and HMO insurance plans. Trust me when I tell you, you take your kids to Children's Dental Fun Zone, they're going to go, Mom, Dad, when are we going back to the dentist? You're going to think it's nuts, but I'm telling you it's going to happen. A lot of our friends and family here at the radio station, including the audience, have now taken their kids, and they will attest to that themselves. So to book your child's next appointment at Children's Dental Fun Zone, go to their website, cdfzone.com. That's cdfzone.com. Or call them at 800-717-KIDS. That's 800-717.
June 30th, Copa America, Mexico, Ecuador. But that's in Phoenix. Mercado Northgate is taking care of you. We're going to have a VIP party down in Costa Mesa. Listen all week long to ESPN LA to figure out how you can get invited. We're going to have a party, we're going to get going, and we're going to cheer on El Tri. USA, USA. That's what you're going to be chanting July 1st when the red, white, and blue takes on Uruguay in Copa America. And where are you going to watch it? At the Mercado Northgate in Costa Mesa. Find out how you can get VIP access all week long on ESPN LA.
All right, Big D, why were you rolling your eyes at Cappy other than the usual?
You know what?
Does it have to do with my whole Chris Rock, Will Smith thing?
No.
No, he's talking about ball, bro.
Ball.
See, I understand your notion with Austin Reeves and all that, but you know what?
What?
I'm with Sedano when it comes to DeJounte Murray because Lakers need guys who play both ends of the floor. They need a guy who can create their own shot, which DeJounte Murray does, but he can also guard team's best opponent.
On the perimeter, right?
On the perimeter.
Yeah.
Lakers didn't have that. They weren't that good defensively as far as guarding the perimeter. Interior, they were really, they held their
Right.
own.
Their point of attack defense was not good. It's why AD, there was a lot put on AD last year, which is also a point of, I'm not reporting this, but if I had to guess, there was a lot of frustration defensively from AD because there wasn't a lot of guys putting up, not that they weren't putting up enough of a fight because they were like lollygagging, but there wasn't enough of a fight because the guys are just not gifted enough on that side of the floor.
Hear what you're saying about DeJounte Murray, and I love your point about him being able to guard against the best player on the opposing team, okay? That would have really helped in that Denver series.
Oh, no question.
Right?
Of course.
Yeah. But, again, I'm just going to say this. Well, I'll make a comparison like this. Do you think that it was a good move by the Lakers to get rid of Alex Caruso?
No.
Okay.
At the time, it was a terrible move. I think everyone felt similarly, especially over what ended up being pennies in NBA terms.
I would tell you that I think Austin Reeves has a very similar.
No, he's nowhere near the defender.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm going to say that he's not. He may not be the same defender that Caruso is. Okay, I would say he's probably a better offensive player than Caruso. Okay, so there's a little bit of trade-off there.
Right, but Alex, here's what I would say. Alex Caruso is an elite defender. Like, you ask anyone in the NBA, he is going to be an all-defensive type talent. Austin Reeves on offense he's not that level of good on offense that Caruso is on defense.
I understand, but what I want to say is that there are certain guys on teams that play roles that you just know this guy is he's a dog. Okay? Like Angel Reese.
You can't teach that.
Right, like Angel Reese. You can't teach that. I'm a dog. Some guys are just a dog. And I got news for you. Austin Reeves is one of those kinds of guys. Okay? DeJounte Murray may be a great defender. He may be great on both ends of the floor. He may be able to defend against the other team's best player. Great. I'm not saying I don't want DeJounte Murray. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I don't want to give up Austin Reeves. He's too young. He's too early in his career. And I would hate to. George, you bring up a good point. Sometimes you got to cash in a chip.
You got to give something to get something.
That's exactly right. I mean, listen, sometimes you buy a stock for $5 a share,
right?
And the stock goes up to $100 a share,
and you got to sell.
And you're like, I got to take my profit,
right? Because it's not going to keep going.
Well, but then all of a sudden it goes from 100 to 200, and you're like, oh man, I wish I wouldn't have done that. But you're like, well, but you know what? I took my profit off the table. I can't get greedy.
You've made a ton of money,
right? The Lakers could theoretically say, you know what? We can't get greedy on Austin Reeves. And by the way, we can't get emotional about Austin Reeves. We love him. He's great. He dives for balls. He's heart and soul. He works hard every day. He's young. He's cheap. But you can't get emotionally tied.
But I think you already sort of alluded to it. I think the fact that they let Caruso go, not that I'm comparing them as players, but I think they realize in retrospect we made a mistake there. Okay, and we don't want to make another mistake.
Precisely.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll tell you right now. We could have been moved on to something else by now had I just said that at the beginning. had I just come up with that at the very beginning, I probably would have been able to move on. Funch, what do you think, man? I mean, I know you got your Dodger gear on today.
I know, but he's the producer of the Lakers broadcast.
Yeah, I mean, come on. What do you think? Do you want to give up on Austin Reeves now?
I'd do it tomorrow. I'd do it yesterday if I can get DeJounte Murray. Seriously.
Yesterday.
Yesterday. These guys are right. I mean, defensively, we needed someone to take Jamal Murray in the first round. We didn't have any of those guys.
Okay, let me ask you guys this question. Hypothetical. You ready? If I told you that Jared Vanderbilt was going to be 100% healthy throughout the whole season, I'm just playing it out here. Could Jared Vanderbilt defend?
Yes.
Well enough.
At a high level.
Okay, well enough that you would keep an Austin Reeves because you keep his offense?
The thing about Vanderbilt is that, like...
He's not a good offensive player.
Yeah,
like you're playing 4-on-5 on the other end. So what you're saying is when you have Vanderbilt on the floor, what you need is you would need the other 4 players to be supremely talented on offense, which they have those players.
LeBron, AD,
Hachimura,
Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, and they're on the floor with Vanderbilt.
Or Hachimura,
Okay.
because D'Angelo Russell may or may not be here. Here's what the Lakers are trying to do, and we talked about this months ago, okay? And we kind of reiterated it the other day. They need D'Angelo Russell right now. They need to thread a needle with D'Angelo Russell's contract to be able to make this thing work, to be able to acquire real talent. But teams also know that, and they're like, yeah, D'Lo's not enough. And if you're not willing to give us the picks, then we need Austin Reeves. And that's the conundrum that the Lakers find themselves in.
If I were the Lakers, and this is just me, okay, but if I were the Lakers, here's what I would do. I would say I got myself a new coach who's going to be one of the smartest, analytic, math-driven kinds of coaches.
Yeah.
He's into math, and he's into performance. These are his words yesterday, not my words, they're his. So we've upgraded our coach. How do you know? He's never coached a game. Well, we think we've upgraded our coach because of 2 things. One, we think he's super smart, and B, he's got the LeBron stamp of approval. That's number 1. Number 2, here's what I would do. I would say, look, I'm going in with LeBron, AD, Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, and Jared Vanderbilt. Those are my 7 guys that I'm going into the season with. I'm going to hopefully get more out of, and these are 2 other guys that are going to stick around here with me. I'm going to have Max Christie, okay, because I think he's an up-and-coming talent. He's only going into his 3rd year. And by the way, he may be a 3rd-year player, but he's really only like, is he 20, 21? Right? So they drafted him.
And I like Max Christie.
So do I. And I think that he actually was getting some decent playing time.
You preferred when he had the wispier mustache.
I mean, look, the guy hadn't reached puberty in his first year, okay? But now this guy's like on the verge of being a grown man. And what's the other kid's name that they drafted last year? Hood Schifino.
Yeah.
Right? So if you take my 7 guys, LeBron, AD, Reeves, D'Angelo, Rui, Vincent, and Vanderbilt, and you put them together with Christie and Hood Schifino.
Right.
And then, of course, now I'm on to my 10th player. I'll just chalk up Bronny because he's occupying a roster spot this year, guaranteed.
Yeah.
And you need 2 guys. You know, you need a big guy and you need a shooter. And you know what? With a new coach and a lot of consistency in the roster, I'm going to listen to J.J. Redick. That's why I hired him. He doesn't think the roster is that far away. He just thought that schematically the team didn't play well together and there were a lot of injuries. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I also think that 1 star doesn't change it all. But that could be me. Now, I don't think I think DeJounte Murray's kind of in that middle ground where he's an all-star but not a star. I think he'd be a clear upgrade over what they have, but that's just me personally. Cappy, before we move on to Radio Tinder, tell us about your home away from home.
Well, I'm going to be there tonight. Okay? I will be there tonight as I usually am. Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, Thursday nights. That's where I'm at. I'm at the East Central. What I love about the East Central is this. Number 1, it's right across the street from LA Live. So if you're coming into downtown LA and you are planning on going to a game over at Crypto.com, if you're going to a show at any of the theaters, the Microsoft Theater, if you're going to the Grammy Museum, whatever it may be, if you're coming into downtown LA, the location is the best. It's right across the street from LA Live. That's 1. 2. The biggest hotel rooms in all of downtown LA. You say, well, how do you know, smart guy? I'm here to tell you that all the other hotels that have been built in downtown LA, there are smaller rooms so that there can be more of them so that they can sell more. That's not the situation at the East Central. There are bigger rooms. This building's been around for a really long time. Here's my 3rd reason for the East Central. The softest mother effing towels you have ever dried your body off with in your life. They're amazing. 4, all the art in the rooms. I stay in the Mamba room, the Kobe room, but there's the Great One room and there's the Madonna room. And anybody who's ever put on a legendary performance across the street, there's a painting in your room. I'll go to number 5, the brand new gym that's in the East Central. I use all the dumbbells. I use the treadmills. It's great to use every morning when I'm there. And then lastly, and maybe I should put this up at the top, the Nixo Lounge, whether it's a cocktail tonight before bed or if I have breakfast there in the mornings, you're going to love it. Location is everything, and the East Central's got that and so much more. So do yourself a favor and call this number, 213-748-1291, 213-748-1291, and book your stay at the East Central, ecentralhotel.com. East Central Hotel in downtown LA, entertainment's official
at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter or Instagram. Don't forget about our sponsor, Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Take it away, producer Lindsay.
Hey, Cappy, I bet you that if Debbie could give you a theme song, it would be this one. It's Eddie Guerrero's theme song.
Eddie Guerrero?
Yeah.
DeAndre just felt like playing it.
Okay.
We didn't really have any TV themes for today.
Yeah, I didn't remember this as Eddie Guerrero because I remember Eddie Guerrero as a wrestler. Very similarly, his rise, very similar to Chris Jericho, where he was just a guy in WCW and then got his chance in the WWE and really made the most of it before his passing.
But, those guys were, it's interesting, back in the day, from, Hulk Hogan to The Big Show to Kevin Nash, those guys were giant dudes, and even though Hulk Hogan looked bigger, he was only like 6'4". But, Eddie Guerrero was like 5'10". When Chris Jericho was in here a couple weeks ago, Chris Jericho's not a big guy at all.
No.
Not big at all. What's the dude's name? The ECW champ that was in here a couple weeks ago? What's that guy's name?
Swerve Strickland.
Swerve what?
Strickland.
Swerve Strickland? Dude, he's not big at all. I mean, DeAndre, come on, man. You were way bigger than he was.
Yeah, but they're also, I feel like a lot of the smaller or not gigantic guys are extremely skilled in wrestling.
Amazing
it's a
athletes.
lot more entertaining to watch, in my opinion.
Incredible athletes, insane athletes. They're like gymnasts, these guys.
Yeah, like AJ Styles, when he came up in New Japan, when he went to WWE, him and Shinsuke Nakamura, they're doing all these crazy flips off the top rope. Yeah, everyone was like, "Whoa, what is this?"
Yeah. By the way, Radio Tinder, which is coming up in just a moment, is brought to you by our friends at Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Award-winning small batch premium sippy tequila made from the finest mature agaves. Available everywhere fine tequilas are sold. Visit their website, tequilamandala.com, and demand the extraordinary with Tequila Mandala. Cappy, by the way, if you're going, I know we have a thing that you and I can potentially attend.
Yep.
You should probably RSVP to that today by the end of today.
You have to by the end. You got to do by 5. Oh, it's too late.
Well,
no, it's not. I already
they keep
I
asking me,
did.
"Yo, dude, are you coming? Because I'm like one of those people that doesn't RSVP to stuff. I just show up.
I said that you were. So.
And I'm just like, I don't know if I'm committed to it or I'm not committed to it. I don't know, because it's Thursday night. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably wind up going.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, Radio Tinder time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Pat Sajak has not been gone from Wheel of Fortune for very long.
Right.
But according to reports, his absence is already being massively felt, particularly by his longtime sidekick, Vanna White. According to reports, Vanna White was planning on retiring at the end of her contract expiring, which would be kind of soon.
Mm-hmm.
But she actually might leave even sooner due to her relationship with new host Ryan Seacrest,
Oh.
whom she reportedly doesn't jibe with. So I guess
She should leave.
I guess she wants to walk away sooner. She said that it's just too difficult to do without Pat, and she doesn't jibe with Ryan like she did with Pat.
See, this is why I should have gotten that job.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Because you would jive with Vanna?
Totally.
Yeah.
Really? Think so?
I'd be very reverential towards her.
Reverential?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
This is such bleepery.
I agree with that.
I'd be like,
Benevolent.
Vanna, you're incredible.
Yeah, but the difference is that Ryan Seacrest comes walking through the door, and Ryan Seacrest is loaded and a superstar, and he's taken over, and he knows she's on the way out. So, all right. So, what's the question?
So my
here?
question is, have you ever worked with someone that you don't jibe with that made you want to quit?
That made you quit?
Made you want to quit?
Oh.
Or quit?
I have 2 people that I have sworn there could not be any job remaining for me on planet Earth. Nothing. And these 2 guys are like, "Hey, I'll give you a job." I would rather starve on the streets than work with or for these 2 particular people.
And you would not care to share those people?
One guy, his name was Jack Evans. I don't care. I'll tell you his name. I don't care.
Okay.
Guy, I'll never forget what this guy told me. When he took over one day, I kind of spoke up for him to everybody. I was like, "Hey, I've worked with Jack before. He's a great guy, really cool guy." And then it just all went to crap not long thereafter. And then another guy, his name was J.R. Mann. And this guy was just the worst, like the biggest freaking bully you know, and somebody who kind of claimed to be super religious, so like he kind of hid behind the religion, but he bullied everybody in the workplace, particularly females for the most part, and he was just the worst guy. And I was like, you know what? I will never, ever work with either of those two guys, no matter what. So I didn't quit, but they made life like, you know what J.J. Redick said yesterday? He said, pursuing greatness doesn't have to create misery, you know? And so those guys wanted you to pursue greatness, but they created misery. Vanna White, by the way, she should leave. It was 30 years or whatever it was with her and Pat. What'd she think was going to happen? Ryan was going to walk through the door and everything was going to be exactly the same. They were going to have insta chemistry. I mean, listen, she's had an amazing career. And for Seacrest, he should want her to leave so that he can update the position. Because when Vanna White was 25 years ago, I mean, she was like a total sex symbol. Now she's, she's still an attractive lady, but she's a bit older. But if I were Ryan Seacrest, I'd want like young and hot and new. All right, George, I'm on a tangent right now.
I would be reverential, I already said to Vanna, so anyway.
Benevolent.
What's next?
Well, no, but have you ever worked with someone who's made you want to quit?
Yeah, but I've never actually done it, so.
Okay.
Anybody that qualifies with the two guys that I just came up with, guys that you'll never work with again?
Oh, I mean, I have those, but honestly, the guys that were in those positions, I've outlasted them. They're no longer in the industry.
Same.
Yeah.
Screw those guys.
It's not even worth mentioning them.
Screw those guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Funchy has the next one.
All right, guys, don't dump me when I do this radio Tinder. So there is a new trend on TikTok called raw dogging.
Now, wait a
I've
second.
seen this.
All right, wait, guys. Wait, guys, calm down. Get your mind out the gutter. Get your mind out the gutter.
Yeah.
Raw dogging is when you have a flight to go somewhere, basically, and on the flight you use no phones, no music, no movies, no nothing. You just staring at the in-flight map or just staring
or just
into
go to
nothing.
sleep.
Yeah, go to sleep or anything.
Yeah.
There are stories of people raw dogging for cross-country flights. I even saw somebody go raw dogging for 15 hours.
Well, but if you can just sleep, that's fine.
For 15 hours on a flight from Australia to L.A. So, question here: can you raw dog on a long flight, Mr. Sedano?
I did. I slept. I didn't do it continuously because I woke up a couple of times to like go to the bathroom or something. But on my flight from Boston, the last day of the finals,
it was like 5 hours, 6 hours.
It's a 6-hour flight. I probably slept like 3 hours and change. I got up to eat. I got up to go to the bathroom.
Does raw dogging include eating or not?
I don't know if
Yes,
that's a
it can.
You can eat
can.
while raw dogging?
It's just
Okay.
you're on this flight with no entertainment
I
whatsoever.
didn't actually use any electronics. I literally just wanted to sleep and just, because I didn't really sleep the night before.
Funch, point of information for me so I can decide if I'm going to raw dog or not. Can I use the hard copy magazine?
No.
I don't know. I don't know if that.
Like you can't even use like the Skyball
no
magazine?
No books, nothing.
Okay, hold on. What if I have a legal pad and a pen and I want to write notes? So I'm not watching a television monitor. I'm not listening to any audio. I'm not listening to podcasts. I'm not watching videos. No social media. I'm not getting the free in-flight texting. It's just me and a notepad and a pen.
If I was the raw dogging judge, I think you would be. It's okay.
Okay.
To be writing stuff.
Then I could raw dog. I could easily raw dog, no problem.
How are you going to take notes on JJ's press conference if you don't have the press conference to watch?
Very true, but in this particular case, I'm going to be committed to raw dogging, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my notebook and my pen, and I'm just going to take my notes. And everything that I need to get off my brain, I need to put onto paper. If that qualifies as raw dogging, I can do it. What about you, DeAndre? Can you raw dog?
I can raw dog, yeah.
You can.
Yeah,
I don't think he
raw
could.
dog.
He's a young guy. He's a young guy. I don't think.
I mean,
he
you
can
can't
make
sleep on a flight?
Sleep on a flight.
Then you can raw dog. You're good. All right, that is Radio Tinder. Cappy, tell them about your friend Avner Gatt again. We got to talk about Avner, who is going to maybe host the Mandy's next year.
Did anybody see the video that we have posted on Instagram and Twitter, which was kind of like a review of the Mandy's? Did everybody see that? You haven't seen it?
No.
Oh my God, it's so good, George. It is so good.
So good.
For anybody that didn't make it to the Mandy's this year, if you see this video, you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't go. In the video, one of the things that you get a real chance to take a look at is Avner Gatt doing the pony on stage. And I've got the microphone, and I'm going, go Avner, shake that thing, go Avner. Like, I don't know where it came from. It just sort of happened, Here's the thing about Avner Gatt. He's a real guy, okay? He's here to help you. If you have a flood in your house or if you have a major emergency and your homeowner's insurance company does not want to cover what it's going to take to fix it, that's when you call Avner Gatt. He'll take care of business, no problem. I mean, that's what his business is. That's what he's been so successful at. You don't spend the kind of cash that Avner Gatt spends to be on a radio station of this magnitude at this frequency unless you're hyper successful. That's Avner Gatt. He is. But why is he hyper successful? Because there are tons of people out there who have this problem every day, and there are a ton of homeowners insurance companies out there that don't want to pay you. Even though you're paying your policy every month, they don't want to pay you. You call Avner, he takes care of it. 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256. But Avner, more than anything, is now part of our community. He is part of our family. And when he was up on stage and I said to everybody, hey, look, it's Avner Gatt, 1,000 people in unison all said, hello. It was amazing. So if you've got this problem, you got a guy, you got familia that can handle this problem. And all the reviews will tell you. The Google reviews, the Yelp reviews, the Better Business reviews, they're all 5 stars. And Avner is going to make sure that you get the best outcome, not the insurance company. So if you have an emergency and your homeowner's insurance company doesn't want to pay you, Avner will take care of it. 818-917-5256 or visit his website, Avner, A-V-N-E-R, Gatt, Avner Gatt, G-A-T, Avner Gatt.
Oh, Cappy, you love this guy. It's your guy.
Wait a second.
Harry Styles.
You know what?
His number one hit 2 years ago.
In the last
This day.
week, I've been at 2 different places where there was a live band doing Watermelon Sugar High. You know? And I'm like, wow, that's an interesting song when you just got a guitar player and a singer.
Right.
Pretty damn good, though.
Yeah.
I like Harry Styles.
I know you do.
I'm a Harry Styles fan.
I know you also like Prize Picks, and the Dodgers are trailing 3-1 right now in Chicago. Did you have somebody in that game?
I did.
Yeah.
So I had Ohtani tonight to hit a home run.
Right.
And currently the Dodgers.
He crushed one the other night.
Well, and I'm. You know what? I know this sounds weird, but I'm kind of playing Ohtani almost every night to hit a home run. Now he's not going to hit one every night. I got it. You know, but
it's not a terrible idea.
But he's got. I want to say he's got 24 or 25 home runs already.
With Cappy's luck, he's going to end up going on like this crazy drought all of a sudden.
Well, I hope not, but I will tell you this: I had Ohtani tonight to hit a home run. Today's Taco Tuesday, so they ask you to play a pitcher where they lower his strikeout totals.
Yeah.
So there's a guy named Ranger Suarez from Philadelphia.
Yeah, he's good.
He's
got like a crazy scoreless inning streak going on right now.
His more or less number on Prize Picks was 5 strikeouts, but they lowered it on Taco Tuesday to 3.5. He's already got 4. And then tonight, I've got 2 players. I've got Mackenzie Gore, who's a pitcher for the Washington Nationals, to have more than 6.5 strikeouts. And the reason I have him is because anytime a player plays against the San Diego Padres, who used to play for the San Diego Padres, he usually has a really good performance.
Right.
So I've got Mackenzie Gore to have more than 6.5 strikeouts against the Padres.
Yeah.
And I've got Manny Machado, who's all of a sudden gotten hot, to have more than half a hit.
Yeah. By the way, Shohei has 23. Shohei.
23.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the thing. When you download the Prize Picks app, here's what I want to point out: 2 things. One, right now, the hot dog eating championship, which is coming up on the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah. No Joey Chestnut.
But there's a guy named Jeffrey Esper. Jeffrey Esper, his more or less number for hot dogs eaten, 49.5.
Right.
They're giving you a free square at half a dog.
Yeah.
Okay, now, in the NFL, there's a category called NFL SZN, NFL season.
Yeah.
They're giving you Patrick Mahomes, it's a free square for half a yard, to pass for half a yard for the entire year.
Right.
So unless Patrick Mahomes doesn't play in game 1, he's going to pass for more than half a yard this year, don't you think, for the season?
Yeah.
So they're giving you a free box on Patrick Mahomes. They're giving you a free square on this hot dog eating guy. And now's the time for all of us to have fun playing Prize Picks. The NBA season may be in the rear view, but the WNBA season, the baseball season, the hot dog championship, I don't know what they got cooking up for the Olympics. I'm not sure.
I'm sure they'll have plenty, yeah.
Okay. Download the Prize Picks app. Use my code KAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y. They match your first deposit 100% up to $100. And let's all win together playing Prize Picks.
All right, let's switch to some football here. We've talked a lot of Lakers basically for nearly the first 2 hours of the show, and we'll get back to it in a second. But I saw everybody's got their power rankings.
Preseason power rankings?
Going on right now in the National Football League. So I saw Mike Florio's Pro Football Talk had them today, and he had a nice little graphic.
Okay.
Where do you think the Rams are in the power rankings there?
I haven't looked at them.
32 teams.
Okay, I was just about to Google it, but I'm not going to. Since
Just guess.
I would say the Rams are probably 9, 10, 11. Be a guess. You want me to be more specific?
13.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
13?
Lower than you'd thought, right?
Yeah, I mean, I figure the Rams are a playoff team.
Right. They're the 6th NFC team.
Okay, so I see the Rams as a playoff team. That means 7 teams from each conference. So that they've got them in the 6th spot. Yeah, so I mean they're a playoff team, which makes them a top 14 team.
Right.
And you say 12?
Right.
You say?
So yes. So they're 13.
13.
13.
Oh, wow.
How about your favorite team to hate, the Los Angeles Chargers?
By the way, let me say something about the Chargers.
By the way, you saw your boy Jim Harbaugh at the Angels game the other day.
I did not.
And we're getting off for Angels a little early today at 6:38.
I did not see Jim Harbaugh at the Angels game the other night, but I will say this. The Chargers put out a video of their new practice facility. The Bolt is what they call it.
Yeah.
You talk about what a modern-day NFL football facility is supposed to be.
Right.
Amazing.
Look at that.
But you see, the thing is, they didn't build it.
Oh.
And they didn't pay for it.
Okay.
So they
doesn't
just,
matter.
No. I'm just saying that they are It's like being a biotech company,
Right.
And somebody builds this incredible
Lab
facility
for you, yeah.
and you move into it,
Right.
And that's what the Chargers have done here.
Yeah.
But I will give them credit where credit is due. Spectacular.
Yeah. All right. So real quick,
The Chargers, though, the number.
before I go to the Chargers,
Yep.
I mentioned the Rams were the 6th in the NFC.
Yep.
So the Niners were ahead of them, the Lions were ahead of them, the Eagles were ahead of them, the Packers were ahead of them. Strangely enough, the Buccaneers ahead of them as well. I thought that was interesting.
Well, I mean, the Buccaneers.
They play in
were
a crappy
division,
division, and they are in a crappy division.
and they're bringing Baker Mayfield back now, who had
Right.
a solid year
Yeah,
last year.
bad division too. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess whatever. I just was surprised.
Who,
but
by
anyway.
the way, was there another NFC team behind them? Like, was there a 7th seed?
Cowboys was behind them.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. All right. So Chargers, where do you think they are?
I would say the Chargers are probably 6th in the AFC, which would put them probably 9-10. Are they breaking it up by conference, or are they just top?
No, they're doing 32.
Okay, I'll say the Chargers at 9.
No, Chargers at 15.
Oh, okay, good. See, I overestimated.
Yeah, Chargers at 15.
Mm-hmm.
In the AFC, behind the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills, the Bengals, the Texans, the Dolphins, the Browns, and the Steelers. So they don't have them as a playoff team.
No, and if you're going to be behind the Browns and the Steelers, that's not very much respect, frankly. Now, the Browns are a team that
They've got talent.
they have talent, but we still don't know if Deshaun Watson is ever going to be the player that he was his last year in Houston.
Right.
You got to remember, George, this is 2024 we're going into.
Mm-hmm.
Lindsay, what year do you think it was? 2018, 2019, maybe it was 2020. What year was Deshaun Watson his last year in Houston? Because after his last year in Houston, then it was the year off because of all the trials and everything that was going.
2021, I think.
Was it 2021?
Yeah.
So 2021.
This is his 3rd season with the Browns.
Right, but this is 4 years removed
Right.
from what happened in Houston. Like his last year in Houston, and we're 4 years later. And the fact of the matter is, 1 year he didn't play. The next year he only played like half the season.
It was right, but it's his 3rd year with the Browns.
Right,
So
but he played half the season with the Browns in year one because of the suspension. He played half the season with the Browns last year because of the injury. And now he's going to come into a season where he's got a new offensive coordinator, and we still don't know exactly what's going to happen with Nick Chubb, their running back. So, to me, the Browns being in front of the Chargers is insulting if you're the Chargers. And the Steelers, you tell me, guys, are you, like, confident in Russell Wilson? I mean, he wasn't awful with the Broncos, but the numbers that he put up didn't really produce much by way of wins. Is Russell Wilson going to pull into Pittsburgh and all of a sudden the Steelers are going to have a resurgence?
No, but if he's competent, their defense is good enough to get them wins.
And look, you talk about a tough division. I mean, Baltimore was
Yeah,
the
toughest
first name
in the
that you
sport.
mentioned,
Yeah.
and Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So, I mean, isn't that interesting that the entire AFC North, which, by the way, will be the in-season Hard Knocks,
Yeah.
they're all in the top however many you mentioned here.
Right.
You know?
We're running out of time, so
We
let
are?
me get you. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I don't know if you realize, almost the
I
top
don't-
of the
I
hour.
don't pay attention.
Yeah. Well, let's break here then, because I do want to get to the Raiders and get your guess, but we can do that on the other side before we get back to the Lakers. But real quick, let me tell you about our friends at NextGen, the official AC Heat and Plumbing company of SoCal sports fans. That's right, NextGen, the absolute best in the biz, with thousands of 5-star reviews online to prove it. And here's the thing, guys. I don't know if you noticed, Jack. It's getting hot out there. You want to get your AC checked right now. So call NextGen at 833-3NEXTGen. That's 833-3NEXGEN. And here's the other thing. They do AC, they do heating, they do plumbing, right? Plumbing is a big problem nowadays, too. I had a plumbing problem, and here's the review that you need. They solved my problem, okay? I had a plumbing issue in my drain, slow drain. My daughter's hair gets stuck in there. We tried all over the over-the-counter products. Didn't work. I called NextGen at 833-3NEXTGen. That's 833-3NEXGEN. And this is what you can do. Do what I did. You can call them at that number. You get a drain cleaning and camera inspection for $88. There you go. Drain cleaning, free camera inspection, $88. All you got to do is call them at 833-3NEXTGen. That's 833-3NEXGEN and say goodbye to all your AC heating or plumbing problems. NextGen includes water, plumbing, heater, and AC safety inspections, and it's the only name you need to remember for a safe and comfy home. And by the way, air quality in the summertime, not great either. You got allergy problems, they'll take care of it. They got Breathe Easy with NextGen, with indoor air quality solutions to fit any budget. So call them at 833-3NEXTGen. That's 833-3NEXGEN, or visit them online at nextgenairandplumbing.com.
Yeah, for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
What you need to know is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Take it away, Linz.
Thanks, Sedano. Did you guys know that there's actually a worse one-word response than K when you're texting somebody?
Oh, yeah. What is that?
Well, there is. Replying to a text message with only the word sure is interpreted as passive-aggressive or uncertain, especially when you're asking somebody to hang out with you. So if somebody has a, quote, sure attitude, it feels like they would basically rather die than hang out with you. So, asking someone to hang out is kind of a vulnerable.
See, that's weird that would be the case because I would feel like that is the opposite because the actual definition of sure is confident in what one thinks or knows.
See, I use the word sure as in to say yes.
So I don't see that as passive aggressive at all. Like literally, the definition is not passive aggressive. It is as declarative a statement as you can give.
But
Say to somebody,
nowadays,
yeah.
literally, people don't really use words literally the way that they're supposed to, and it's more of like sure, as in like sure, I guess.
Well, I mean, you're right.
Well, but that's also, I would also say that's on the insecurity of the person receiving said note.
But you're right. Certain words today have changed their meanings. For example, okay, if I say to you, that's gas, that doesn't necessarily mean that I need gas in my car.
Or that you're gassy.
Right, right. Okay, if I say to you, that's fire, okay, that doesn't mean that there's some building burning down.
There's arson.
It means it's
Right.
dope.
Yeah.
And if it's dope, even that's not what dope used to mean. That's not like drugs. That means good.
Also,
so yes, words have changed meanings.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that if you use the word sure with an exclamation point, it's a completely different meaning because it's like, sure, yeah, awesome. But if you just say sure, it's I guess that's just a digital miscommunication that's
How many times do
how people
you
interpret it.
reply to somebody and instead of saying okay, or instead of saying K, you say KK?
No,
I don't do
I've
that.
never
I
used
say-
K or
Nobody's
KK.
ever used KK.
I don't use K.
Or K for that
No
matter.
KK.
I know a lot of people do, but I don't. I use okie, like okie dokie.
How many of you guys use this word? Tell me if you guys use this word or not. Toodles.
No, I do not
Never.
use toodles.
I mean, do you also use totes magoats?
I use totes my goats.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
no, I love totes my goats.
What does that mean?
Love totes my goats.
Oh
That
my
means
God,
totally.
Jeffrey's never even heard it before.
Totes my goats means totally. Like, so instead of saying totally, like, hey, you want to go for dinner tonight? Totally. You go, totes my goats. Like, with a question mark.
That does not sound good.
Yeah, with a question mark at the end of
That does
it.
not
Totes my goats. Like, of course.
That does not
Right?
sound
You know,
good.
it's cool. You should
Nah,
try it.
it's
Try
not
it out.
cool.
Check
Nah,
it. Ask
it's
your
not-
girlfriend.
Nope, it's not cool.
Okay. My daughter's 17 years old. Toodles. That's what she says to me all the time. I go, hey, I'm leaving. I'm going up to work today. She goes, Toodles. And I always think of it as meaning like, get out, mofo.
That's like I feel like that's from a movie from the 80s or something.
Toodles?
Yeah.
I don't know. I do not know, but totes my goats is good.
All right, that is
Sure
what you need
not.
to know. Brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Back to the NFL music real quick before we get back to the NBA. So, Cappy, we're talking about the power rankings. So we told you Rams at 13, Chargers at 15. Where do you think the Las Vegas Raiders are?
If the Chargers are at 15, the Raiders, I'm going to guess, are 24.
Man, you're close.
25? 23.
26. See, when Raider fans get on me, okay, about like this team is better, but they're not significantly better, and they play in a tough division in the tougher conference, like it's just a brutal situation for them. 26 may be low for me. Like I'd probably have them in that early, kind of closer to that 20 range. But it wouldn't be that much higher, to be honest with you. I'd probably have them like 22. You know what I mean?
Here's the problem for the Raiders, okay? And
23 maybe?
Raider fans, you guys don't want to hear it, and I get it. And believe me, I don't want to say it. But just think about it for a second, okay? Kansas City's got the best quarterback in football.
Right.
Okay? The Chargers have a very good quarterback.
Right. And a good head coach now.
The Broncos have drafted a quarterback in the first round.
Right. And they have a Super Bowl winning coach.
And a guy who's known for coaching the offensive side of the football.
I mean, he made Taysom Hill a thing.
Correct. So what do the Raiders have? They have a defensive-minded coach.
A good defense.
they have their head coach is a defensive-minded guy who, by the way, he is in his first full year as head coach. Okay. And what did the Raiders do in terms of offensive coordinator? They went out and got a guy by the name of Luke Getsy. That name is not a household name, but what Luke Getsy is, he's a guy who was a Green Bay Packers assistant coach for quite a while. He was actually the Chicago Bears offensive coordinator. So it's not like Luke Getsy is a guy that gets you hyped and you go, you know what? This is one of the better offensive coordinators in all of the NFL. So they've got a defensive coach. They've got a middle-of-the-road offensive coordinator. And you know what the biggest problem is, Raider fans? And you guys know what I'm about to say.
They're a 7-win team, man.
You don't have a quarterback. Now, look, I like Gardner Minshew.
Right, but Aiden O'Connell may be the starter.
But let's just say Gardner Minshew is the starting quarterback. Gardner Minshew is a guy who players have traditionally played for and rallied around because he's kind of an underdog sort of a guy.
Yeah.
Not a first-round draft choice.
Yeah, really fun college quarterback.
Yeah, but wasn't like the biggest star in college football.
No, but he was just, he played with Mike Leach. He was super fun to watch.
Yeah,
right.
But Gardner Minshew has at least some history that says, "Hey guys, I'm pretty good.
He's competent.
I win.
Look at Indianapolis last year.
Yeah. So I like Gardner Minshew, and he may surprise us all, and he may elevate to where you go, he's a legit now real starting quarterback. He started in Jacksonville because they needed him to at the time.
Yeah.
He started in Indianapolis last year because their rookie Anthony Richardson got hurt.
Right.
Okay. But you have a defensive coach who's in his first full year coaching. You have an offensive coordinator who's a very middle-of-the-road guy who's not a name that you know. And you've got a quarterback who's always been a backup quarterback. So, and by the way, if Aiden O'Connell is your starter, he's a fourth-round guy. So the Raiders still have a perception-related issue, and until they go out and win games, that's what people are going to think about. No surprise to me that they're 20, did you say 25th? 26th.
26.
Wow.
It's pretty low.
Real low.
So there you have it. Yeah, I mean, they're like a 7-win team to me. That's what they are. And that's what you're perpetually going to be until you get a better quarterback. Which is why I was a proponent of them doing whatever it took to get like a Michael Penix. You know? Now, granted, somebody else jumped ahead to get Michael Penix, or took them earlier than you thought that you were going to get him in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Big penis energy.
Right. But that's kind of the thing. They need a quarterback, in the worst way. And neither guy that they have on their roster, in my opinion, at least currently, is a guy that can get you to the playoffs.
I also, listen, Antonio Pierce, I'm a fan. Okay, I want to be a believer.
Oh, I do too.
I love the way that the Raiders have made the decision that a couple years ago they screwed up by when they had Rich Bisaccia and they made it to the playoffs and the players played for that guy, they should have kept him.
Yeah,
they didn't.
Right.
I like that they're giving Antonio Pierce.
I agree.
Chance.
I hope that they give him more of an opportunity because this year this team, unless they overachieve in a way that I don't foresee, they're not a playoff team this year. The roster is not a playoff roster.
Well, I hope that what you're saying proves to be wrong because I want the Raiders to do well.
Oh, it's good for business. Don't get me wrong.
It also means, if the Raiders do well, chances are the Chargers didn't do well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
the Chargers are a 10-win team to me. I look at that schedule. The early part of that schedule is very manageable.
The Chargers, every year, people look at the Chargers and they go, they got this and they got that and they've got a great roster and they've got a quarterback and they've got skill guys. And every year it turns out to be garbage. 5-12 last year. The difference is now, and this is what scares me as a Charger hater, the difference is Harbaugh.
Right.
Harbaugh has a track record of success in the NFL.
Yeah.
He comes to the NFL, back to the NFL as, decorated and champion.
Yeah.
And players believe in him.
Yeah.
You vibe off of his energy. To me, Harbaugh right now is what Pete Carroll was when he went to the Seahawks.
Right.
Where everybody believed in him because they all watched him at SC.
Do you believe?
I do not.
Oh.
I do not. I can't. Because
I believed in Coach Prime.
I do believe in Coach Prime.
Yeah.
I just bought 2 pairs of Coach Prime sunglasses from my people at Blenders, the gold ones and the black ones.
Right.
We coming.
Yeah.
Okay, make no mistake. We coming.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm rooting against Jim Harbaugh because, of course, I'm still the president of the Charger Hater Club.
Yeah. Hey, are we going to give away that sweet opportunity with Jacob?
We sure are.
Yeah, why don't you tell him about that real quick?
All right, so It's time to give away those Jacob and Ronnie Sweet Night passes for Saturday night's LAFC match at BMO Stadium. All right, so here's your chance. Be caller number 7 right now, 877-710-ESPN. That's 877-710-ESPN. And correctly answer the trivia question based on today's show. So make sure when you call that you're actually listening to the show today, because that's what the question's based on. You'll win 2 sweet passes.
Oh, it's an easy question for me today.
Yes, very easy.
Yeah.
So then if you are caller number 7 and you get the question right, you'll win 2 sweet passes and qualify for the grand prize VIP pre-match sideline passes with Jacob and Ronnie. Be caller number 7 right now, 877-710-ESPN.
All right, lines are lighting up. But, Cappy, before we move on, because coming up next, I want to get back to the Lakers, okay? And there's actually an update on the Lakers. There had been talk about the Lakers looking to move pick number 17. There's an update on that. And the draft is tomorrow, by the way. So we have an update on that. We'll get that to you in a moment. And before that, you have to tell us about your friends at the California Cryobank.
Big D, how old are you, man?
26.
Okay, Funchy Lover, how old are you, dog?
Too old.
How old?
Am I 43?
Okay, see, now this is exactly what I wanted to illustrate. You have a young man right here, 26 years old, and now you have a guy who has aged out at 43 years old, okay? So I'm looking for all the young guys between the ages of 19 and 38. Fellas, let me ask you a question. Would you like to make an extra $1,500 a month? Because guess what? $1,500 a month is serious money. And here's the reason why you would earn that $1,500 a month, because you would be doing something really, really good for other people. You see, look, lots of people want to start a family, and for many people, you do what you do, and 9 months later, here comes a baby. But it doesn't work like that for everybody. There are lots of medical reasons. There's lots of issues that people might have had along the way in their lives, and as a result, they can't manufacture, they can't produce, they can't procreate. So that is where you come into the equation. If you're 19 to 38 years old, if you have the ability to work in the United States, you can make up to $1,500 a month. And most importantly, you're doing something really great. You can help other people create the family of their dreams. So it's super simple. All you have to do is apply online at spermbank.com/ESPN. We're going to actually give you now a different URL so that we can all track it. Spermbank.com/ESPN. The California Cryobank is looking for you young fellas. And if you want to make that $1,500, you might as well get paid for what you're probably doing at home by yourself for free anyway. Hook it up at the California Cryobank and make sure you apply at spermbank.com/ESPN.
June 30th, Copa America, Mexico, Ecuador. But that's in Phoenix. Mercado Northgate is taking care of you. We're going to have a VIP party down in Costa Mesa. Listen all week long to ESPN LA to figure out how you can get invited. We're going to have a party, we're going to get going, and we're going to cheer on El Tri. USA, USA. That's what you're going to be chanting July 1st when the red, white, and blue takes on Uruguay in Copa America. And where are you going to watch it? At the Mercado Northgate in Costa Mesa. Find out how you can get VIP access all week long on ESPN LA.
5 a.m. in the parking lot. Old black trucks taking parking spots.
Yeah.
What do we got, D?
This is DJ Mustard and Travis Scott's new song called Parking Lot.
You say DJ Mustard?
Here we go. Go ahead. I'm curious as to what you were going to say before we get to the Jacob and Ronnie Sweet callers who have a chance to win.
Does DJ Mustard wear like bright yellow? Does he wear more of like a brownish, kind of a spicy sort of get up?
I knew it.
You know, maybe he wears something more that's like a little bit beigey, kind of like a nice Dijon.
Yeah,
if
like
you
Grey
will.
Poupon?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, what, DJ Mustard? Really? Really? Does he work with DJ Ketchup?
I knew that was the other joke.
Right? Is DJ Mayo going to be around anywhere?
Yeah.
You know,
Good one,
DJ
Dad.
Soy Sauce all up in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How about DJ Hummus?
Yeah.
We got DJ Hummus?
Hummus is not a condiment, though.
It's not?
No.
Hummus is not a condiment?
It's chickpeas.
We got
Right, but
DJ
just
Barbecue
because
Sauce.
because it's chickpeas, right?
I
DJ
like that
Barbecue
name.
Sauce work?
DJ Barbecue Sauce. That's a great name.
I like DJ
Hot
Hummus.
sauce.
Right.
Oh, hot sauce.
Yeah, DJ Tapatio all up in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
DJ Cholula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DJ Tabasco.
Yeah.
All right, Cap, we get it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Have I exhausted it all?
Yeah.
I think you got
All
it.
right, what do
How
we got
about
here,
DJ
Linz?
Bitchin' Sauce?
Yeah. All right. So, Linz, what was the? Are we
Okay,
referring
so-
to the question here? Or how
Yeah,
does this work?
yeah. So now we're going to give away those Jacob and Ronnie Sweet Night passes for Saturday night
LAFC?
match.
Yeah.
We've got Johnny and Hawthorne.
LAFC.
All right. So Johnny and Hawthorne. All right. So the
Gianni and Hawthorne.
can you stop for 1 second? Go ahead, Lindsay. Ask him the question.
All right, so during Radio Tinder, Funch asked the guys about a TikTok trend where people fly without using any technology or entertainment whatsoever. What is the trend called?
Raw dogging.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Wow! Congratulations, Johnny.
Gianni.
Congratulations.
Let's go,
You've
dog.
won 2 sweet passes to Saturday's LAFC game with Jacob, and you qualify for the grand prize VIP pre-match sideline passes with Jacob and Ronnie. Listen all week long to Sedano and Cap for your chance to win. And remember, call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB.
All
Or
right.
visit calljacob.com.
Buddy, we're going to put you on hold so they can take care of it, okay, bro?
You think Johnny can raw dog or not?
Thank you guys.
What do you
Appreciate
think?
it.
Johnny, could you raw dog on a cross-country flight?
Of course. My 2 kids in the back seat say they'll grill me.
Nice.
All right, bro. Awesome. Well, congrats again. Thank you for listening, and thank you for, being part of the show.
Hey, kids, you
Thank
should
you,
be
guys.
proud of your dad. He's a raw dogger.
Yeah, seriously,
You know what I'm
kids, be proud of your dad.
Right.
All right, Johnny and Hawthorne is on hold. Lindsay, take care of the gentleman.
Right, he's a fan of DJ Mustard, too.
Yeah. Cappy,
Guy, DJ
so
Mustard.
there was a lot of chatter
DJ, please.
about the Lakers trading. There was some reporting, I guess, on the Lakers looking to trade out of pick 17
No.
to be able to utilize as a package, I would presume, in getting a player, right? But as we've talked about, it's not a great draft.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think like pick 17 in this draft is going to be super worth it for most teams.
Yeah.
Teams are trying to trade out, trade down. Everybody's trying to get out of this draft. Okay. Now, the weird part of this is we'll look back in 5 years and be like, I can't believe everybody missed on this guy because it was a bad draft. But that's the thing. There's even like Giannis. That was a bad draft, but somebody got Giannis at 13. The Bucks did. So, like, there's going to be someone that we're going to look at and go, wow, I can't believe everybody missed that one.
Well, do you have a thought on what the Lakers are going to do? Should they stay at 17? Because
So,
I do.
So what I think they're going – so the reporting was they were going to trade it. Now there's some reporting that says they're not, that they're going to keep it. And I think it's really just because there's no value in it. Here's what I would do. Do you have thoughts? Because I have thoughts.
I do. I would like to hear yours because I don't think they're going to be the same as mine.
I think that they should get the guy that you were referring to in the sense of like some girth up front. If Zach Edey is there, and he may not be there by 17.
Zach Edey's there. Oh, my God. I'm jumping all over that guy.
That's a guy I would take because instead of paying Jonas Valanciunas or Brook Lopez or one of those guys, I'd rather get Zach Edey at a cost, like cutting, saving contract.
Okay. There are 2 really big guys that we saw play in the NCAA basketball tournament this past year. Edey was one of them. And who's the other guy? The guy from Purdue.
Edey is the guy from Purdue.
Then who's the guy from UConn?
Klingon, he's not going to be available.
Okay. All right. Right. So they're gone.
Klingon is
already.
a top 3 guy.
Okay. So Klingons are going to be gone.
Yeah.
Right. And Edey, let's just assume for a moment Edey's going to be gone, the kid from Purdue, right?
Yeah.
So let's say the 2 big guys are off the board. At 17, and we had Bobby Marks, the ESPN like front office NBA exec guy in the studio last week, and he said, hey, you take the best available guy.
Right.
Okay. I'll tell you right now who the best available guy will be at 17.
Yeah, who's that?
Guaranteed.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
And by the way, not only is he the best available guy at 17, he's the guy that the Lakers should take, no question.
Oh, here we go. I know where this is going already. Go ahead, just do it.
You know it.
Super predictable where you're going.
You know it.
I thought
Don't do it to me.
for like a second, for literally a split second, I'm like, I'm curious to hear who you're going to give us. But of course, you would go for the low-hanging fruit.
Not the low-hanging fruit, the guy that makes the team happy.
Come on, Cap. Don't do it to me.
You actually just interrupted your sigh by drinking water.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre's looking at me like he don't know what I'm about to say.
I clearly do.
Funch, you have an idea of who the Lakers should take at 17 if Zach Edey's gone?
No.
You don't have any ideas?
No clue.
You got no idea what I'm about to say? Really?
No clue.
Lindsay, baseball?
I have no idea.
See?
Actually, I do have a clue, but I hope you're not going to say it.
What do you think I'm going to say?
Of course you're going to say. We know where you're going. Go. Just say it
Just
already.
say it.
You
yeah.
know it.
Hell no.
Hell yeah, Perk. Take Bronny.
Oh, jeez.
Come on, Cap. Don't do
You
it to
just
me.
said that the 17th pick has no value.
Not that it has no value.
Okay.
It doesn't have the value that they would want it to have.
Let me ask you a question. All right? Serious question. You draft a player, his name is Player X.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? He's a 19-year-old kid. He's a one and done kind of guy, and the likelihood is he's not even going to make a contribution in his first year. He's going to be a guy who's going to get his reps down in the G League, like the kid they drafted last year, Hood Schifino, right? So just play it out with me.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the guy that they're going to take that cannot help this team in year one, then I ask you this question. Wouldn't it be better to take Bronny, who you're planning on using as a developmental talent anyway, and wouldn't it just be better to draft him 17, get him signed, no two-way contract, and make Dad happy?
No, you don't have to take him there. Don't be ridiculous. Like,
what if he's gone
why are you
before
making
55?
a mockery of this?
What mockery of what?
You're making a mockery of this. He's not the 17th best player.
He's not even the 55th best player.
Okay, but at least there you could maybe make the case. I don't know. But 17, you certainly can't justify that.
I could justify it
No, you
because
can't.
yes, I can. For the same reason I could justify J.J. Redick being the coach, because that's what LeBron wants, and making LeBron happy is the thing that you're trying to do.
Right. You're already doing that if you take him at 55.
But what if he's not available?
Well, then so be it.
Well, then you might listen.
If someone else is taking him, then LeBron will be happy because his son is getting his name called, and that's what the son wants.
I just want you to,
literally, Rich Paul said that today, as a matter of fact, somewhere.
I just want you to remember.
Yeah.
When I had a dream.
You had a dream.
Just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I had a dream, and my dream was that I wanted to have J.J. Redick be named the head coach right after the finals.
Yes.
Check. I wanted Bronny to be drafted by the Lakers.
Yeah.
That will be a check.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want LeBron to opt out of his contract.
Yeah.
And then re-sign.
Yeah.
And then that will be a check.
Okay. Great.
That was my dream.
Yeah.
That is what's going to happen.
You know what my dream is?
Let me hear.
To get on a plane and get far, far away from you.
Why?
Because
I'm making a
because
mockery?
of this. You're making a mockery.
A mockery?
A mockery. You're making it a Travis Shamockery.
I blame the king for the mockery.
All right. We didn't do our WNBA segment. We'll do it next because
man.
we have a short segment coming up.
Oh.
And I actually, you missed out. How about that? That's my tease.
I did.
You missed out in a big, big way. Mm-hmm. Okay? And we'll tell you why in a second. But first, my home away from home. Your home away from home is across the street.
That's right.
Mine is about 10 miles away. LAX changes are arriving daily to reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the traveler experience. The LAX economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding. Who doesn't want to get to their flight faster, man? Come on. And a new facility for your friends and family when they come to visit. We'll have all major rental car brands under one roof. And I've been to this facility. First of all, the views from the facility are insane of the whole city. But on top of that, they got everything where you need. It's a one-stop shop for when your friends and family come to visit. And in the future, the People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. So if you're local, you don't even need a car to get to LAX because you can take the Metro to the Century Station right outside of LAX and the People Mover train will pick you up right there, take you right to your terminal. So for more information, go to their website, flylax.com for more information. Go to their website, flylax.com.
The Lake.
Final segment of the program. Angels baseball coming up after us. The Angels are taking the A's, and we will give you another good 5 minutes here.
You know that one of the girls who works over as a marketing consultant here,
Yeah.
her dad's a scout for the A's.
I had no idea about that, Jack.
Yeah, so Gabby, her dad, is a scout with the A's.
Yeah.
And he came out to Yamava when we were doing a bunch of football shows out there.
Yeah.
And I got to be, we started talking and we exchanged phone numbers and whatever, and we stay in touch. And I've been texting with him recently because I got a buddy of mine who was like a first-round draft choice in the baseball draft.
Right.
And was a starter on an opening day major league roster for several years, and then started to deal with injuries and problems and everything else. And now at 31 years old, cannot find his way back into baseball.
Right.
And so I've literally, you hear that, Lindsay?
Literally.
Literally been sending Gabby's dad, the scout for the A's, yo, man, I need a hand. Can you help me with this?
Is it our guy?
It is my guy. Yeah, It is my guy who used to be a starting center fielder for the
Cleveland Indians.
Right, back before they were the Guardians.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Got to have one before the show's over, George, in the final few moments here before we hand off to Angels A's, I got to look at Funchy Lova today, who's wearing that Jackie Robinson Dodger jersey, looking sweet and dope and just money as can be, right? But Funch, I don't know what happened to you on Saturday night. Will you please tell me what happened?
I don't really want to talk about it on the air.
Yeah, why do you want to do this?
I don't understand.
I don't.
You do understand.
Do you really
you're
not
just
know?
being-
Or
I
you just
swear-
let's just say, we
Put it this way. I'll just say it like this. Lindsay, me, and DeAndre were sitting at the table. George was sitting at the table as well.
Even Lil Cappy was there.
Lil Cappy was there, the
He
Benson
just
crime
decided
family.
he would sit there because he saw there was an open seat or 2 or 3 or 4. Because
There were multiple open seats.
Malika and Dave couldn't make it, and then neither could Rachel. So it was we had some space at our table.
Right. So the Benson crime family sat down next to us, and so did Tommy, and Lil Cappy. So I was sitting one seat away from Lindsay, and Lindsay said, "Cap, why don't you come move closer to me?" And I was like, "Because I thought you were going to bite, And then she was like, she told me, "No, I don't bite."
I didn't.
And I look around, I go, "Where is my boy? Where is Funchy Lova?"
I was wondering
all
too.
up in it, right? And then later in the show, somebody told me, "I swear to you, Funch." Somebody
Well,
goes,
you text that you were gone, but it didn't compute as to why you would. I thought maybe you had another event you had to go to.
I thought you were bored.
Or that.
Some people,
I mean, look, I told Chris the show took a little
yeah, it
long.
was a little long in the tooth.
I guess I'll take my guess then, Funch, since you don't want to talk about it on the air.
Well, if he doesn't want to talk about it, why are you
Yeah.
guessing?
Well, because I like the uncomfortable nature of this kind of
and I could see you making me uncomfortable, and I see the smile on your face.
Yeah,
I
it
love
makes
it.
me
I love it. I
excited.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
So at the beginning of the night, when we were all taking pictures, as people were standing in line and they were coming in, we're hugging it out with everybody, we're taking pictures, we're having a great time. Funchy was telling us that he was getting himself going on the Hennessy.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
And I love Hennessy. Okay. Because I will drink what Marshawn Lynch drinks all day, every day. You feel me?
Yeah.
Okay. And so when Beast Mode likes to go with Hennessy, Cap likes to go with Hennessy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know. I thought to myself, well, what do you mean Funchy Love is gone? So I thought maybe the Hennessy got you.
I guess it got to me a little bit.
Okay.
Also the food in the back too.
What do you mean the food?
The food. It got to me a little bit.
He wasn't trying to go to the porta potties,
Oh, that's what
I
happened.
know I wasn't.
Of all people to discuss that with, I'm your guy.
I'm sorry, man. I'm
I had
sorry,
extra
man. I'm
underpants in my
embarrassed,
car,
man. I'm embarrassed.
Embarrassed? I'm proud of that. Andy Kamenetsky made a joke during the roast.
He wasn't there to hear it.
I know. He goes, you know what? He goes, if Cappy wins an award tonight, he's going to crap his pants. But chances are he's already done that 2-3 times already tonight.
That's why I missed the group picture because I couldn't go in the porta potties,
Yeah, and I couldn't believe that you didn't know that was a ladies thing. No.
Oh, no, I didn't. I asked
I
two
tried
people.
going into that bathroom too, and they were like, "It's only a ladies thing."
Dude, if you would have said to me, hey, listen, man, I'm having a little bit of a stomach issue here right
Cappy
now.
would have
You
been
got
like,
some
hey,
Tums?
I got some extra underpants in my trunk.
I'd be like, here's the keys to my room, dog. Go do what you got to do.
Damn, I should have told you that, man. I should have told you, man. I drove all the way to wherever I needed to go to do what I needed to do.
All right, we got to wrap this
I
up.
always tell you, hotels are the places to go. You could have gone into the Commerce Casino lobby and done what you had to do.
Oh, no, man. No,
there
man.
would have been people in there.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway.
Well, Funchy, we love you, buddy.
embarrassed, he
All right.
said.
Great
Love you
job,
guys.
Funchy, Lindsay, DeAndre, Cappy. Excellent work as always, except for when you're making a mockery of things.
Oh, my God.
Although that makes it fun sometimes.